up, y'all? Throwing down another solo video album review. And finally getting around to talking about the new Gorillaz album, Cracker Island. This thing, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm living in a world where Gorillaz no longer impresses me. There's no more wow factor to their music anymore. It's weird. Like, I will always credit Gorillaz, their first album, to sort of blowing up my young musical mind. I was about 14, maybe 15 when that first album came out, and I was Marilyn Manson kid at that point in my life. I didn't really listen to much else other than like industrial and heavy metal stuff, other than like Primus and Ween. So Gorillaz kind of blew my mind. There wasn't a lot of hip hop I was checking out. I had never checked out any kind of reggae and dub stuff, and then whatever the hell else is going on with that album blew me away. And then several years later, same deal with Demon Days, blew me away. Then fucking Plastic Beach comes out, and I'm just like, man, it took me a long time to like that album, and I still am not that big a fan of it. It's fine for what it is, but man, it was a big letdown to me compared to the majesty that was the first two albums. Then The Fall came out, little smaller album, and at the time I liked it a lot, but the more I listened to it, I was like, there's not much going on. The music isn't interesting to me. And then that was it for a really, really, really long time. I liked D-sides better than Plastic Beach and The Fall. So then, several years later, we finally get Humans, and man, I praised that album when it came out, and I still kind of do. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there, but man, that album, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. And I do get the complaints, people saying too many guests, not enough of 2D's character and all this, and the Gorillaz feel like a backdrop just for all these guests. I get it. But there was a lot about that album I liked. But also, I think once I got past the honeymoon phase with that album, I was like, not turning it back on. Then the Now Now dropped, and I liked it a lot when it first dropped, but then I just lost interest again. I think it was I was in the point in my life where I was just like, I was not ready to say a Gorillaz album sucks. And then they dropped Song Machine Volume 1, still waiting on Volume 2, and that was kind of cool. I liked the way they built hype for that album. It was like, boom, a music video, and then several months later, boom, another music video. I kind of liked the way they did that. But the first track, man, that with that band, The Slaves, that was fantastic. I was like, this is the best Gorillaz song I've heard in a long time. And then the other single, another single, I was like, I'm really digging this. And you know what? I do believe Song Machine is a step above Humans as far as a big, grand kind of album, but then at the same time, I feel like some of the guests, a lot of the guests I don't know, which is a fun thing about Gorillaz, when they have all these people that I don't know. They introduced me into some of my favorite rappers, Dale the Funky Homo Sapien, MF Doom, when I was younger. But a lot of the fun is hearing these artists that I've never heard before, because I don't really pay attention to what's going on out in the pop world and stuff, and so hearing some of these people, I'm like, they're fine. And then the guy Black, I guess, me and our buddy John Short, we're calling him Six Lack, but I mean, sorry, but he uses Elton John on that song too, and it's like, you got this legend and you're not doing anything with him. It was kind of boring, and that was it. But now we're here to Cracker Island. Another big, the lore, I believe, Cracker Island, I think they put more thought into the lore of the album, which I love me some good ass lore. I love a good lore band. But I believe the lore is deeper than this album. I don't know. I've listened to it a few times, and each other listen I am so bored. All the songs kind of stay in a mid-tempo range. I don't know, there's no bigness to it. I don't know, to me the concept in the lore in this phase of Gorillaz, the lore screams this should be big, this should be grand. But to me the music doesn't necessarily reflect the bigness of the lore. Hey there, Frey. And it's just not doing it for me. Every song is just, they almost sound bored. It's just this kind of, he always sounds like Rhinestone Eyes to me when he sings most shit nowadays. Fucking your rhinestone eyes are like things so far away. It just sounds so boring. He uses a lot of the same vocal effects. The music, it just sounds like he's been using the same machines since Plastic Beach. I don't know. It's just nothing is impressing me too much anymore. And I've tried with this album, man. I've listened to it several times, but each listen I'm more bored, more bored. And the song with Beck on here is fine. I don't like it nearly as much as the song they did with Beck on Song Machine. But the guest roster here is like, you got Stevie Nicks, and I figure you get Stevie Nicks, it should be an amazing song, and it's kind of Tame Impala, I like Tame Impala a lot, and then the song on here with them is just kind of you know, and then some of the people I've never really listened to. I don't know who Bad Bunny is. I don't know who Booty Brown is. I believe Booty Brown's been on a few other Gorillaz songs, but it's never made me want to look up Booty Brown, you know. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm missing out. Maybe Booty Brown is amazing. I don't know. But whatever's happening on here is not enticing me to check out some of these other artists, other than the artists that I already do enjoy. And I don't know who this... I can't read this. Matoya. Silent Running was all okay. Skinny Ape I liked alright. Possession Island was fine. It's just, to me, the lore on this album is bigger. This whole thing, they join a cult. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on, and I don't know. It just felt back in the day, man. The lore to me matched the music. Even on Plastic Beach, high concept, but to me the music felt right, you know, for what was going on. Even with Humans, lore-wise, I don't think the lore was too heavy there. So there's sort of an imbalance, but the music on Humans was high concept like a motherfucker. And same thing with Song Machine. It just sounded big, but none of it really grabs me anymore like they used to. And this album, man, it's just boring. All the songs are just real slow. Maybe I'm gonna listen to it a few more times before the end of the year to see whether or not it's gonna be on the disappointments list or somewhere on the best of list. But as of right now, it's pretty low, if anything. But I don't know, man. This is a 5 for me. It's not doing it for me. But the new Blur album did drop, and that's really good. So I know Damon Albarn has it in him. Maybe he's a little bored with Gorillaz. I don't know. But to me, all the thought and all that put into the lore shows there's still some interest. Who knows? But it's a 5. We'll see you guys later.